But you will cheat. You will cheat.
Hey, look, everybody keeps saying I'm cheating for no reason.
Good. Nice composure, good. Two underneath when he leans on you. Don't give him time. That's it.
Terence Crawford visits Anthony Joshua's training camp before the Jake Paul fight, causing excitement in the boxing world. He carefully watches Joshua's workouts and spends time around the camp. Their time together shows how serious Joshua is about this fight, as he brings in top fighters to help him improve. Having a pound-for-pound star there adds extra focus and intensity as fight night gets closer.
Good. Good. Nice composure, good. Two underneath when he leans on you. Don't give him time. That's it.
Anthony Joshua is always open to new experiences and advice from other fighters. He learns from many styles and takes in every lesson he can. This helps him improve and become a stronger, more complete fighter in every training camp.
I've always heard that saying, a happy fighter is a good fighter. And each individual, uses different things and finds out different ways to keep them occupied and keep them happy. And for me, it was just like communication within the team.
Anthony Joshua pushes himself in hard training sessions to make his body stronger and his reactions faster. He uses cold ice baths to reduce swelling and recover quickly so he can train at full strength. After that, he does tough drills that test his power, speed, and focus. This routine shows how serious he is about preparing at the highest level. Wade Plemons, a combat sports analyst, gives a strong opinion on how Anthony Joshua should fight Jake Paul. He says this is not a fight where Joshua should take his time or try to entertain. Wade believes Joshua should finish the fight quickly and with purpose. He explains that a heavyweight like Joshua cannot afford to give Jake Paul extra time in the ring. Letting the fight go longer could raise questions and hurt Joshua's image. Wade feels the best move is to end the fight early and protect his reputation. With so many people watching, he says Joshua must set the tone from the first bell. Joshua has the size, skill, and power, and Wade insists a fast finish is the smartest way to handle this fight.
I believe it'll be, which I think could be a little bit of a feeling out first round for AJ too, then Jake wins to me. And I know that sounds like, oh, but it's true, bro. AJ shouldn't be going rounds with Jake. He just shouldn't. That's a two-time world champion. You know what I'm saying?
Olympic gold medalist,
gold medalist, two-time world champion. You shouldn't be going rounds with Jake. Jake hasn't fought anybody in, I don't know where they currently rank Tommy Fury, but he hasn't fought anybody in the top 50 in any weight division he's participated in. Mm-hmm. So if that guy's going 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds with you, cooked. But I think if you're putting money on it, I would say AJ, round 3 maybe.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Everybody's kind of jumping on the AJ round 2, AJ round 2. And I'm like, Jake's tough. Could he use his feet for a little bit longer than people imagine? Is it going to be tougher for AJ to land on him early maybe? But I think at a certain point, the cat corrals the mouse a little bit. But we'll see, dude. Who knows? Jake's got some good guys in camp. He brought in Lawrence Okoli. Big Lawrence Okoli now, too. Did you see him?
Well, I remember being in Dubai, 3 years ago. Do you remember 3 years ago when we were, commentated, for Deji vs. Merva. And funny enough, from that fight week, Jake Paul went and hung out and went shooting of AJ. Yeah. I think laser tag of AJ. Yeah. 3 years ago on the same week.
Wild. That entire week now is coming to full fruition. It was here in Dubai. It was Jake on commentary. First time I had met Jake. Talking shit to Tommy Fury. Lawrence Okoli was on commentary with me, and I was like, how are you a cruiserweight? Because at that time, he was still a cruiserweight, and I was like, how the fuck are you a cruiserweight? You're massive. And sure enough, now he's 265-pound heavyweight. He's way too big, by the way. But, he's got Lawrence in camp. He's got Jared Anderson in camp, what's supposed to have been our great American heavyweight.
Anthony Joshua's training camp for the Jake Paul fight is very different from his usual preparation. As a former heavyweight champion, he is known for strict routines and careful planning. This time, the camp is more intense and faster, showing he is not taking Jake Paul lightly. Anthony Joshua's weight reveal at about 110 kilograms, or 243 pounds, became a big topic. For most of his career he stayed at a weight that felt right for his style. This time it was clear he lost around 20 pounds quickly, which worried some experts. In his mid-30s, cutting weight is harder on his body and can affect strength, recovery, and energy. This choice shows how serious he is about the Jake Paul fight, but it also brings risks. Losing weight may help his speed, but it could lower his power. Joshua appears to be finding a balance, lighter to move well but still strong enough to be dangerous.
But fundamentally, you're still living life as normal. You're not restricting yourself that much. You know, if you're eating 2 pieces of chicken, maybe you just eat a piece of... You see what I mean? You're not going to the extreme to try and actually dehydrate yourself or anything like that. So it's very different than having to actually hit a specific weight, all right? And to do that in a relatively short space of time, because this fight's, you know, not that long has it been announced, and it's not that long until the fight. It's only 2 weeks away. Eddie Hearn was talking about AJ weighing 265 a couple of days ago. So you're thinking, okay, 20 pounds in 3 weeks? That's not ideal for someone who, again, is in their mid to late 30s, a year in activity, and crucially has never had to hit a specific weight throughout the course of his career. Never had to do it. All right. So it did have me kind of worrying a little bit and thinking, is this a miscalculation, accepting that? Because in terms of him fighting Jake Paul, he's going to win. I mean, there's no ifs about it. He's going to win this fight. It's pretty much a given. All right. But it did have me wondering. Now, AJ, as I said, he took to his social media accounts to show that he's currently weighing 110.6 kg, which is around about 243 US pounds. So that's well under the weight limit. So a lot of people are saying, slam dunk, it's done. Well, I got a few questions on that, because you do have to ask these questions. You're talking about Anthony Joshua, who over the course of the last, 3 years has been solid in the 250s. Hasn't weighed sub 240 or sub 250 since he fought Usyk 3 years ago. And bear in mind, he would have went into camp fully intending to be mobile, speed. He would have spent 3, maybe 4 months working on, what's an ideal weight for that, working on this, that, and the other. So it's not like, a crash diet for the Usyk fight or anything like that. And AJ is someone who loves the resistance training. That seems to be the main thing that he does. And outside of camp, he probably would have thought he was fighting Cassius Chaney, which is the name that a lot of people had in an 8-rounder.
Carl Froch, a former world champion known for speaking honestly, shares why this Jake Paul fight may make sense for Anthony Joshua. Froch believes Joshua is in the later part of his career and has already done almost everything, winning titles, filling stadiums, and headlining big events. He says there are not many big fights left for Joshua that fans have not already seen. From Froch's view, taking the Jake Paul fight is not a bad move. It offers a huge payday and worldwide attention. He also mentions a possible fight with Tyson Fury, which would still be massive if it happens. After that, Froch feels Joshua may have little left to prove. He does not criticize the choice and sees it as a smart money decision, saying this fight is more about business and entertainment than legacy.
He had a go, and for me, he's found his limit now, found his level, so now he needs to look at his health and look at what he's got after boxing. And if he can make 50 mil, whatever he's making, to fight fucking in the clown world against the clown show, do you know what I mean? Then take the money, man. Yeah. Take it and go and live your life. I can't see AJ fighting for a world title again. I don't know who he fights and who he would beat and how he would get that desire back to become a world champion. But Eddie Hearn's got to sell it and try and say AJ's going to be world champ again. 3-time world champ, but I'm not buying into that bullshit. I think AJ's had a great career. He's done massive things for professional boxing, and now he's at the end of his career and he's cashing out. And who can blame him? I'd do exactly the same at the end of my career. I'd fight fucking Jake Paul for mega money and then drop the mic and then go home. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not going to knock him for doing it.
As much as you say that his career is maybe done after this, he has obviously made the jump, left Ben Davison, gone to Usyk. Do you think that could maybe reignite a flame in AJ? Maybe change something that you might not believe is there at the moment?
No, he's too old. Too old. I've been 36, 37 years old, but I've never had 150 million quid in the bank. Do you know what I mean? And I think the combination of his age, the fact that he's been flattened a couple of times, and now he's making mega money. Why is he going to try and become a world champion again? He's got to train for 10 weeks and spar really hard sparring. And then he's got to get in the ring on Fight Night with 10-ounce gloves against somebody like Dubois, or he's not going to fight Usyk again. Maybe he sticks around and fights Tyson Fury, because that's another commercial mega fight, which is actually fighting somebody who's on the same level. Because Tyson Fury's not been in the ring now for a long time.
Johnny Nelson, a former world champion and Sky Sports analyst, shares a different view on this fight. Instead of focusing on Joshua, he worries about what could happen to Jake Paul. Nelson says Jake could be in real danger if he takes hard punches from someone as big and powerful as Joshua. He admits Jake has improved as a boxer, but facing a former heavyweight champion is a huge step up. Heavyweight power is nothing like what Jake has faced before. Nelson warns that one bad moment could seriously affect Jake's health and future career.
We'll see. For AJ, I'm stuck in between. Because nobody on this green earth would actually turn down 50, 60 million to fight Jake Paul. And people that don't like this will probably watch it because they want to see Jake Paul getting knocked out. So what does it say about AJ and what does it say about Jake Paul? I think I was thinking upside down. For AJ, I thought, Mama's cashing out. He's cashing out because he's going down this mimic line. But I thought, in reality, is he? Realistically, he's thinking, you know what? This big mouth YouTuber stroke boxer has the cheek to call me out. I'd be pissed off at that, if I'm honest with you. I'd be upset if I was AJ, thinking, that's disrespect, man. You think you can deal with me? But he didn't. AJ was jovial and he commended Jake Paul's business acumen, saying, we've sat down, the deal's been done. But still, it just leaves an odd taste in your mouth. So as long as AJ gets the job done, and I mean gets the job done, shows his world-class pedigree, and wipes this boy out, then everybody's happy. But how does it enhance his career? The only way it enhances his career is financially. That's it. No other way. There's no props from beating Jake Paul, apart from saying, thank God you shut him up. For Jake Paul now, I got to give this boy props because he now has our attention and the whole world is talking about Jake Paul. I want to say a big thanks to our sponsors, Bet Goodwin, for supporting That Boxing Show. Now, if you're interested in having a little flutter, or as I call it after my dad, Benji's Bets, Bet Goodwin's the place to be. Check out Bet Goodwin using the QR code on the screen. I'm probably all right. I'm probably 90% thinking the fight's going to happen. But I'm struggling. I'm thinking, this boy can't be so stupid. But then you hear a whisper. You hear a whisper that Jake Paul himself might be cashing out. Because the big purses that he's pulling, fighting these has-beens or ex-fighters, they're dropping slowly but surely. So maybe, just maybe, this might be his last fight. Getting in there with Anthony Joshua and getting knocked out. But there's always that conspiracy theory. Are there some contract agreements that can and cannot be done, which will never see the light of day that we don't know about? Well, if you're an ex-fighter and if you like the fight game, you'll see fake. You'll know fake when you see it. So if there's any of that fakery going on with this, pulling a shot, taking it easy, giving man a bit of a breather, especially coming from AJ.
Jared Anderson, a rising American heavyweight known for his power and speed, plays an important role in Joshua's training. He is young and aggressive, forcing Joshua to stay alert at all times. Sparring with someone who brings constant pressure helps Joshua react faster and improve his defense. Anderson quickly punishes mistakes and exposes weaknesses. This sharpens Joshua's reflexes and timing, helping him feel ready and confident for anything Jake Paul might try.
Jake Paul is being dwarfed by these way bigger heavyweights like Jared Anderson, Frank Sanchez, and Lawrence Okolie. Okolie is like 6'4.5", 6'5", and these guys are like 6'3", 6'4", probably. So now Jake Paul is the one that's smaller. So first of all, I will give credit to Jake Paul. Clearly, he's a person who is taking his career seriously. These are quality sparring. I mean, a real boxer, because people say he's not a real boxer, but a real boxer would be using the same guys in their sparring camp. In fact, I just told you Joshua used Lawrence Okolie. I don't know if he sparred with Anderson or Frank Sanchez, but these are all regular ranked heavyweights. So credit to Jake Paul for that. And I mean, he's going to need it. Joshua is a different breed to, like, a Mike Perry when it comes to boxing. Different frame, different size. In case you didn't believe me, right? Jake Paul, this is what MVP Promotions posted. So Jake Paul top sparring, right? Heavyweights. And here's some pictures of Joshua with Lawrence Okolie. And again, Joshua, a big dude, but you see Lawrence Okolie, and he probably was cruiserweight back then. I mean, I don't know exactly when this picture was taken, but he's only like an inch shorter than Anthony Joshua. And now, as he's moved up to the full heavyweight, he has filled out more. You see, he looks even bigger than when he was a cruiserweight. Now, I got to research it, but I want to say I thought Lawrence Okoli was injured. But again, I'm not his doctor, nor do I care.
Anthony Joshua recently spoke about Francis Ngannou turning down a fight with Jake Paul, saying it was a risky money decision. Joshua explained that big paydays like that are rare in boxing, especially for fighters who are not fully established. Passing it up could mean losing a chance that may never come back. Chael Sonnen, a former UFC star, agreed with him. Sonnen said Ngannou should have taken the fight because the money was huge and the exposure from Jake Paul fights is something most non-boxers never get.
Francis Ngannou does not take the fight against Jake Paul. Anthony Joshua takes the fight against Jake Paul. Anthony Joshua at the press conference gets asked his opinion of Francis not taking the fight against Jake Paul. And Joshua's like, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. There is no reason for him to not take this match. I cannot be and am not mad at Francis. I can't be. Like rules would preclude me from being upset with Francis. I'm not a big Francis fan. Francis fan. I'm not a Francis supporter. So I want to hurt Francis. I want to do something to hurt him. Well, his own actions took $10 million out of his bank account, of which, by the way, could use $10 million. So I can't be mad at him. If I teased him, and by God, get in there and he go, oh my gosh, I heard Chael and I heard from all the Eagles and what was I thinking? And Joshua's out and this is my chance of redemption. Hey, put me in, Jake. That would then help him. That would be positive for Francis. That would create envy as well as jealousy from outside observers like me. But I will tell you, trying to break down and understand how we got to this conclusion is mind-boggling. You ever met a writer? Your whole life, have you ever met a writer? Maybe went to college for it and they're a writer. Do you want to know the hardest thing in the world that person's going to have to do to make money? Find somebody to pay them to write. It's very, very rare.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for the next one.